Alright, hello everyone. Today we'll be solving a rotational equilibrium problem. So, the problem we're given is, suppose there's a 40 kilogram, 3-meter piece of scaffolding that rests loosely on two supports, one at its right end and another at a point 1 meters away from its left end. A 45 kilogram painter begins walking leftward along the platform. How close to the left end can the painter stand before the platform will start to rotate clockwise? Okay, so our first step here, as always, is just going to be drawing a picture. So we have the total length of our scaffolding being equal to 3 meters. The distance between this point here and the end being about 1 meters, and then we have our x here, which is the distance how far our painter can walk before it starts to turn. So what we're trying to do is trying to solve for the torque of this distance compared to the of the painter versus the torque of the actual of the scaffolding. So our next step should be to list what our known variables are. So we have the mass of our person, which was stated to be 45 kilograms, the scaffolding 40 kilograms, the length of the scaffolding being 3 meters, and how far this left end specifically extends, which is going to be a meter. So now that we have all of our knowns, we can figure some information out. Like the weight of the person, for example, is going to be about not is going to be gravity times our mass, which in this case, gravity, since we're on Earth, is going to be 9.8 meters per second, and you are going to want to do that for the weight to get the weight of the person and the weight of the scaffolding, which is 441 newtons and 392 newtons, respectively. And then something else we can do is try and find the center of mass for the scaffolding, which will become important later on. So here, all that's left to do is solve. So we just want to plug in certain values in order to get our torques here. So this torque right here is for the scaffolding. So we have our center of mass here, and we're subtracting it by 1 because we're more or less trying to figure out the torque as it relates to this area over here. We're going to multiply that by the 392 newtons because that's the weight of our scaffolding. And then here we have our 1 minus x. This x right here is what we're trying to solve. How far this painter can go before it starts to turn, and then we're going to multiply by the weight of the painter, which was 441 newtons. And remember, we're trying to get this equal to 0. Essentially, another way of drawing this equation would be to is subtracting this this multiplication problem by this multiplication problem by this multiplication problem, which would make our net torque equal to 0. And as you can see here, the total distance that the painter can walk before it starts turning, based off of our math here, at least, is going to be 0.56 meters.